This is Applied Psychology Assignment 1. What is a sports psychologist? A sports psychologist is someone that understands theory of behaviour. It is someone who uses a range of techniques to be able to identify athletes' psychological strengths and their weaknesses. They then work to improve the athlete's performance through applying all these psychological skills. Describe the roles of a sport and exercise psychologist. There are three different roles of a sports psychologist. These are research, education, and consultancy. The research role is need and have responsibility to build on the field of study within their area of interest. A sports psychologist should record their experiences for others to learn from. This could be analysing results and presenting their findings in journals. Scholars investigated the effects of motivation, effects of imagery, mental rehearsal, and how arousal levels can be regulated. Also, some individuals would be involved in the formal research. The next role is the education role. A lot of sports psychologists are based at universities and colleges. They teach as a module or courses. Some of them teach general psychology and the others will teach applied courses or modules. The psychologist would also provide education to coaches and players and techniques to help improve why they should use them. The third role is the consultancy role. These types of psychologists work with players and clubs on a full or part-time basis and give them skills and techniques to help enhance performance. They also work alongside coaches and give them advice. They also help manage player lifestyles and help them with team and social development. Describe and explain the importance of a psychologist carrying out research. It is very important to carry out research for a sports psychologist because it backs up their theories of behaviour. So when they figure out the problems that a certain athlete has, they can use the skills they have to work on the problem and improve their performance. A sporting example of this could be when Michael Phelps retired from swimming and wanted to come back from this. He would have faced psychological problems, wondering whether he had it in him still to be able to win more gold medals. That is where a sports psychologist would have worked with him to find out what he thought his strengths and weaknesses are and then solve all his problems. This was important. The psychologist done this because Phelps managed to win the events at the Olympics. Describe the importance of a psychologist having good consultancy skills. It is very important for a sports psychologist to have good consultancy skills because these consultancy sessions are what builds a bond and trust between the psychologist and the athlete. Professionalism is one of the main skills, and this is important because it keeps hold of the athlete you have, as in you're taking them seriously and believe you will improve their performances. The knowledge of the consultant also is very important because you must be able to deal with the answers that the athlete is given them and know how to work with the information he is being given. Also, being trustworthy is very important because if they are a high-level athlete and they don't want information being leaked, they would have to trust you to be confidential with the information being given. So being trustworthy would allow them to feel relaxed speaking to you. Explain how a sports psychologist can improve sporting performance. There are many ways a psychologist improves sporting performance, and this is done by working with the performer's mental strengths, which can be used in it, and then identifying the weaknesses which need work on. One way is by improving the focus, and this is done by cutting out any distractions that are irrelevant and making sure the focus is in the correct areas. So if a football player is only thinking about shooting and becoming top scorer, the psychologist would change this and get him thinking in a more team-focused way, where he can realise that thinking of the present moment and doing the right thing will have more of a positive outcome. So if a player passed instead of always shooting, more opportunities could open up for the team and they could score more goals, which results in winning the game. Another way is growing confidence in athletes who have doubts. This will be done by the psychologist, teaching the athlete skills to see situations in a more positive way, which helps with their mental skills. A sporting example of this could be a player taking penalties but ends up missing because he doesn't believe he has the ability to score. but by working on confidence and the player knowing he has the ability to do it and then overcome, then penalties can be taken with high amounts of confidence, which increases the chance of them being scored. There are many ways a sports psychologist could improve sporting performance. The first way could be dealing with injury. The first option for this would be to offer counselling to address their lack of confidence because of this injury. This could lead the athlete to having depression because they are not living the life they want and are being restricted. This athlete could even develop anxiety because they could be worried to get playing again as they think they could injure themselves. To cope with this anxiety, the psychologist could make a plan or program to complete before the player returns to play in their sport. This is so the anxiety levels can be dropped as they know they should be fully fit by then. This massively lower the risk of getting the same injury again. A sporting example of this could be Ibrahimovic rupturing his ACL, being out for a year at least. This could have caused him to become depressed and anxious to come back. But with the psychologist motivating the football player and creating a plan for recovery and dates where he can come back motivated with him and smash his goal by working hard and allowed him to get back to playing within 7 months. The next way the consultant could improve sport performance is by team building. Before any of this happens, the psychologist would analyse the positive and negative dynamics of the team. Once the team knows a common goal can be created. This helps because when a team has a goal, they have to work together and not as individuals, as the goal will only be achieved by doing it as a team. So then things like communication would improve, as the morale of the group would increase massively, which then results in a stronger side. Also, the leaders of the group need to be found as they are the people who bring everyone together and get the team working as a unit, and this is very important for sport improvements. Another way sport and performance can be improved is by changing the lifestyle as an individual. There are 7 main parts to this, and they are training, work, travelling, eating, sleeping, relaxing, and relationships. This allows the athlete to have a fully functioning life. That allows time for everything, and that will allow the athlete to become more relaxed so performances can be better. If their life wasn't stable within any of these aspects that have been mentioned, the athlete may struggle to cope with, which causes massive stress, and this can reflect on performance, as their head could be in a completely different place whilst playing sports. So by the athlete's life being stable, it means that they can be fully focused while training or competition so that they can reach their full potential. Another way an athlete's performance can improve is by improving the coach's education on its personal athlete. This would be done by teaching the coaches psychological skills so that they are taught different ways to motivate them. So it is important for a high-level coach to have a psychologist, as they would improve the performance of a player, as the psychologist would be teaching the coach techniques to improve his athlete psychologically, which is very important if the athlete wants to progress. The psychologist is also there to support the coach with emotions and stress they go through, which is a positive for the athletes because this means that they have a calm coach who can deal with his emotions and do his best job for the athletes. For an example, this could be a football player who isn't motivated by his coach shouting at him, and then his performances in training and effort levels go down because of the coach doing this. But once the psychologist notices this, he mentions to the manager, and the manager approaches the player with a calmer style of coaching, and then the player begins to improve and effort levels rise, which results in his performance improving massively. The next way a psychologist can improve the performance of an athlete is through performance enhancement. And this is where the psychologist helps the performer to prepare for performance, cope with demands during the performance, and reflect on performance. This has tried to eliminate the psychological interference so the athlete comes closer to reaching their potential. The mental process is that I tried to be eliminated are lack of motivation, stress, anxiety, lack of self-confidence and poor attitude in general. By getting rid of any of these thoughts, the performer would have a bigger chance of performing to a better ability compared to when the thoughts were present. How can a performer's lifestyle be influenced by a sports psychologist? A performer's lifestyle can be influenced by a sports psychologist in different ways. The first way is by the psychologist giving good guidance, and this is done by having consultations with the athlete. The psychologist would deal with anything competitive and non-competitive, so it would be questions what the performer is doing in his spare time, and how he's feeling during training, etc. The main thing that the psychologist will do is deal with the stress in home life, relationships, and the family problems if there are any. Also, the psychologist would have a massive influence on the amount of sleep the performer gets, as many live busy lives without much spare time, and it would probably be encouraged that the performer gets more sleep, as it will help him get through his days easier and won't be tired. Also, it will be made sure that he gets enough time to relax, his stress levels are decreased. Also, the psychologist will give him good guidance and advising him on the right steps to take to be prepared for competition. This is so the performer reaches maximum potential. Explain with relevant sporting examples how psychologists can improve the group dynamics of a team. The sports psychologist would do things to help the team form as a whole. He would work with the team as individuals and get them thinking in similar ways, so that they are thinking positively about the team and what they are capable of. This is good because performances as a squad would get better, and then people would think in the same way. It helps with cohesion. Another way a psychologist would help the group dynamics is by finding out relationship and compatibility between the coach and the players. So if the players have a really good cohesion with the coach, the players will want to play under him and bring out the best performances because they are being encouraged in the correct way. Also, the psychologist will work on the group dynamics of the team in general, so making sure they sit together through defeats and victories. This will mean the team will have a better bond, so the dynamics will be better.